Gracie, you colored your hair. Good morning, Springfield. I have a frog in my throat. It's the butter on my brain. Ribbit.
And a butter on your brain.
Well, this is something to celebrate, and I think I just got shocked because Gracie has dyed hair this morning.
I was waiting for you to.
Yeah, you're waiting for us to make. Well, butter on the brain makes my eyes foggy.
Yeah.
Beware of redheads.
Beware of redheads.
Going back to the red.
Oh, that's awesome.
Because I think I should be a redhead. My grandma was a redhead, and my mom had red hair, so.
Well,
Not your natural color?
Nope.
no. Well, I say that gray is not my natural color sometimes.
But gray represents wisdom, so.
Yeah. Oh. Well.
And some people dye their hair white. It's a
yeah.
thing.
Well, I know. Well, so Tom, you are just right in style.
Yeah,
with
yes.
I decided just to
your
let it
style
go.
cutting edge
You're
of trends,
trending.
guys.
Hashtag trending.
Well, so far it has turned gray. It just hasn't turned loose yet. I'm okay with that.
I'm like Matt. It's gray and loose. No, I'm just joking. I'm just giving Matt a hard time.
Falls out.
Matt, the producer. Well, we have had an eventful week. Did you guys have a great 4th of July?
Yeah, I went down to Arkansas to see my parents. That was fun.
Good,
And
yeah.
Tom?
It was a relaxing day.
Yeah.
Well, we had our 4th of July with our friends, actually like family, Rick and Paulette, who have been taking care of my kids since my oldest was 7 weeks old. So we had a great old time.
I saw you guys hit up the beach.
And we did hit Moonshine Beach. I didn't drink the moonshine on the beach, because, E. coli.
Yeah, why not even? You probably shouldn't even drink the water on that beach, let alone anything imported.
But it was so funny because I was having those recollections of July 4th gone by, where we filled up the paddling pool and then filled up the paddling pool with bubble bath.
Oh.
And I would give my kids baths outside,
That's kind of fun.
Yeah, so it was like multitasking
That's
for
pretty
moms.
cool.
So any moms
I would be
out there?
worried that they would get in the process of taking them back inside, they would just get dirty again. That
Yeah.
would be my fear. I'd be like, I just cleaned you.
No, the dogs lick them off.
There you go.
That's the trick. Well, besides the 4th, I had another exciting. I had a great niece born on the 5th of July. So she can say she was born on the 4th of July, but the 5th. So Miss Madeline. My younger sister's becoming a grandma 3 times within the span of 2 months. So
Wow.
you have a word for us to celebrate today?
Yes, and since everybody had a really busy 4th of July, this is a good word to put into practice. It's a pseudol. It's a verb that means to walk about in a slow, relaxed manner.
Ooh.
We all need, without hurry or effort, to saunter
Soodle along there.
or to mosey. And as a noun, it is just a leisurely stroll. So let us soodle our way through this week.
So if you're slowly sipping up spaghetti, you could say you're snoodling.
Soodle your noodles.
Oh, there you go.
Why do I feel like I should beat that up?
I don't know, Matt. Why do you think you should? I have lots of questions.
It's kind of like the next word, pog.
No one ever get him a beeper.
Pogonotrophy,
Pogonotrophy.
the cultivation or growing of a beard.
Yeah. Well,
Oh, we talked about beards a couple.
We did.
Yeah.
I wish I'd had
a
that
month
word
ago
back
or something?
then.
Pogonotrophy. Another word that you feel like
That
you
was
have
a-
to bleep out online.
That was
Yes.
a good. I honestly remember that episode very fondly. That was a good episode.
Yep.
Yes, that is awesome. And you have a natural solution. Does it involve growing a beard?
Actually, it involves blood pressure.
Okay.
A blood pressure supplement. High blood pressure is when your blood pressure, the force of blood flowing through your blood vessels, is consistently too high. And nearly half of all American adults have high blood pressure, and many don't even realize that they have it. The best way to know if you have blood pressure is to have your blood pressure checked, and there's lots of places you can do that and get it done for free. Benefits of blood pressure supplement: it supports heart health, promotes energy production in cells, maintains a healthy blood pressure. Proprietary blend of several things that I can't hardly pronounce. So, our blood pressure supplement supports cardiovascular health by lowering blood pressure with botanical extracts thought to support healthy blood pressure. Can be used to complement a healthy diet, exercise, and a doctor-prescribed regimen. You can find a blood pressure supplement at www.naturalsolutionstore.bz.
And Tom, I admire how you soodle through those
This is suit my way.
through the endorsements here. That's pretty cool. I'm going to use that word all day long. Just so you
Soodle.
know.
Soodle.
Soodle.
She's gonna just casually slip it into conversation. Be like,
use-
stop soodling around. Your kids are like, what is happening? Mom? Who are you?
Yes, use it 3 times in a sentence today.
And what else are we celebrating?
Well, the month of July is National Hot Dog Month.
Yeah.
Rightly so.
And to go right along with your hot dogs, National Ice Cream Month.
Yes.
That's the only thing
And
that
to kind of
matters, really.
put it all together, National
Picnic
Picnic
Month.
Month. Although ice cream at a picnic might be kind of strange.
Yeah.
No, I'm here for it. Ice cream anywhere is fine. You can
Now-
have ice cream in outer space. They have ice cream in outer space.
Wow.
No,
But
I-
ice cream, outer space ice cream I've had, and it's not the best.
Okay.
No.
I
Neither
had-
was that sentence, but we're still here.
Yeah. July 9, today, 2019, is Cow Appreciation Day.
Oh my gosh. I really do appreciate cows. They're so cute.
And,
And we have a lot of
and
them
they
here.
taste good.
Yeah.
They do.
And Fashion Day
Fashion
and
Day.
National Sugar Cookie Day. We should
Oh,
have brought sugar
wow.
cookies today.
I know. I told Tom, I'm like, I'm sorry. I didn't think of
You know,
Yeah,
and on this
sugar
day
cookie.
in 1981, and some of the folks out there will not have been around long enough to remember this, but some of us do. Nintendo released Donkey
Yes.
Kong
I played
I
Donkey
do.
Kong
in
religiously
1981.
at my aunt's house.
And then going way back in 1877 was the first Wimbledon championship.
What's a Wimbledon?
Oh goodness, Gracie, I'm just gonna.
But I know other important things about history, so I think I can
Yeah,
be
that's-
let off the hook today.
Yeah.
And birthdays. I picked one today because it to me it's significant. 1910 is the birth date of Dorothy Hodgkin. She is a British chemist who was the 3rd woman to win the Nobel Peace Prize.
Oh wow, that's awesome.
So she has since passed away, I believe, but that is a significant lady.
Wow. Well, speaking of the days we're celebrating, I just remembered Cow Appreciation Day. Did you know in Scotland that there is a law that you cannot be intoxicated and be in charge of a cow?
Makes sense.
So,
Wow.
so no Scots tipping a bit of the nipping a bit of the Johnny Walker before they go out with a farm.
Save it for the pub at the end of the day, man.
And it also said steam engines and horses, so I'm certain that was like back in the 1800s.
But sheep are okay, because sheep are like the ones that need the most maintenance. Like,
Yeah.
honestly,
They seem intoxicated, the sheep, so they'll probably like be in that way.
they're a lot.
Speaking of intoxication, you have what great food can we intoxicate our bodies with? Not in the alcoholic way, but in the food coma way.
my say grace segment, my food recommendation is Taco El Gordo, and it is on the corner of Division and National.
Oh wow!
And it used to be where there's a purple burrito there, but now it's this other place. And I've actually not been there, but we will get it for my work. Where I work, they'll bring in it for lunch. And so I had one of their tacos, and one of my boss, he was trying their tamales, and he said it was like the best tamale he's ever had. And he's like lived in New Mexico, where there's like actually like, you know, good Mexican food.
So not Taco
So-
Bell.
Yeah, exactly. So get their tamales. They had dessert tamales, which I did not know were a
Ooh.
thing. Very very different, because it's like a, you know, a corn base, but then there was I think it was strawberry and pineapple. So you could try
Yeah.
that if you want something different. On the sweet note, I brought in chocolate Twinkies,
Oh wow!
which
Chocolate-covered
we'll
Twinkie.
have to taste and see how they compare to like a
a regular
ding-dong,
twinker,
know.
twinkers,
since the Hostess family. And fun fact, Twinkies.
Twinkies.
A Hostess is based out of Kansas City, which I did not know.
Oh wow!
And according to Wikipedia, which we all know is Wikipedia, so believe at your own risk, but they were
So-
they were originated in 1930 in Illinois. So,
Oh, wow.
Yep.
So not only is Missouri the show me state, it is the hostess with the mostest state.
Yes, and
That's awesome. Okay, Matt. Matt always comes in for our tasting segment.
Here's one for
and,
you.
and we
I know
can't-
it's a burden, Matt. But
Matt,
Such a
you're
horrible burden.
taking
Take
one,
one for
taking
the
one
team.
for the team. All right. Okay.
I really like throwing things at Matt. It's probably my favorite part of this internship.
Yeah, we
actually.
should have a segment. Throw,
just
throw
like
stuff at
where you
Matt.
Matt.
cut like all of the like
Have a-
all the footage of me just throwing things.
Yeah,
at
I
you.
have a camera back there so you can see like what she's throwing at me and if I
Get
can catch it or
get a
not.
speed gun in here. See how fast I'm
Okay.
going.
Oh yeah. A radar gun?
I want to say this right off the bat. Have Twinkies been downsized since I was a kid? I mean, literally, I think they're smaller.
The regular ones are bigger than this.
Okay.
And I think
I could eat this for the rest of my life.
And I think the original Twinkie factory is in Sadik, New Jersey, or something like that. So it's and they claim that Twinkies would be one of the only things besides cockroaches that could survive a nuclear blast. So
Intact or glowing green?
intact.
Yeah.
And glowing green, probably really
They'd
yummy.
have a new
It
Twinkie.
does taste like a ding dong
It does.
without the frosting
So
or
Yeah, so if you
Or
want
a Swiss
little
roll.
bit of a ding dong without like the
the
So-
waxy chocolate that
So-
coats the roof of your mouth.
that's actually my daughter's favorite is the wax.
My mom likes the ho-hos, and I don't know. I like the orange. We've had them. The orange.
The orange
cupcakes.
cream.
You
The
brought
orange
them,
cream.
and I was like, cupcakes.
I like the strawberry Twinkies too. Those are really good.
Well, they have all these different flavors that I've noticed, like all
Peanut
this-
butter.
Yeah, peanut butter chocolate.
Zingers are really good too. These are all made by Hostess, by the way,
You know how that
Who
people
is not
like
a sponsor?
who is not a sponsor.
I think people like repackage their food, like they have all this extra going over, and they're like, oh, we're gonna make Twinkies chocolate, and we're gonna make so
Yeah.
they just like
I looked at the
repopulate their
peanut butter
food.
one because peanut butter and chocolate is a great combo.
So I went to Battlefield, the town of Battlefield, the other night for the 4th of July and watched a fireworks display. They had a lot of vendors there, and the funnel cake line had about 150, 200 people in it.
Oh my gosh.
And then there was another one that people didn't realize was a funnel cake line, and there was about 50 to 75 people in it. When you get up there, and this place has fried Oreos.
Oh, those are amazing.
So they basically dip the Oreos in funnel cake batter and deep fry them.
Yes.
Did you have one?
No,
They are
They
good.
will change your life.
but I didn't want to go into a sugar coma.
No, you'll
Yeah.
be fine because I've had a couple in my life and I'm still
I think
here.
the
so.
batter balances the chocolate because
It's still a lot going on. Like only have one, but yeah.
and the deep fried Twinkies are good.
we
Have
had
you
them
ever
at
had
we
deep
had
fried
them at
Twinkies?
school and they covered in confectionate sugar. And it was
Good stuff.
amazing. I have a picture of it and me and this.
That's
deep
what I
fried-
always put on my funnel cake.
Oreo.
The confection and sugar.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
Matt, as the token producer guy who walks around, could you get us a glass of water so I could actually effectively talk to
I will
our
have to get you. I'll have to go down the hall because I don't have any bottles. I haven't picked up any water
Can we
today.
talk about the time when I hit my knee and Matt like went out to his car and
Yeah.
got ice for me? That is still like the winner. Like halfway through the show, he just comes in and he's like, "Here you go." I'm
Yeah,
like,
yeah. So really, Matt just really takes care of
We
us.
just need
here,
to-
That's
make
my
sure
job,
we
it's what
don't
I do.
I didn't want
choke.
that to go unnoticed because it was a heroic moment. Like I called my mom and I was like, and then he went to his car and got the ice pack for me, and it was like really nice.
Well, I had just bought a first aid kit because I do ride share whenever I'm not here at my regular job, and it came with I couldn't remember if it came with the cold pack or not, but I went down anyways, and it was one of those where you pop the little thing and you shake it up and it gets really cold. It doesn't last very long, so it didn't last the whole entire time.
it
but
helps though. It
yeah.
got a head start
Yeah.
on the swelling.
I was glad
That's
to do it for you.
awesome.
I'm gonna go
Well-
get some cups of water.
Yes.
It's gonna be from the drinking fountain
That's
down
all
the hall.
right. That's
but
okay.
that is
we
all right.
don't expect you to like drill a fresh
Yeah.
spring.
Yeah.
Thank you, Matt.
Oh,
Thank you, everybody.
We just love
We're
Matt.
on a roll
Matt
today,
just
guys.
keeps the show rolling. Keeps us from choking on Twinkies and all sorts of stuff.
Oh my gosh.
But exciting. We have an exciting interview with Julie Coleman, who is a great ASA friend of ours. I just have to get the right phone number. I have this hesitancy every time I dial on the phone that I'm going to get somebody's, scared daughter or somebody.
That has happened, though.
Yeah, it has.
So your fears are rooted in truth.
Yeah, it's like,
Be validated.
PTSD. It's
Be
like PTSD.
validated.
Hello.
Hey, Julie, this is Amber.
And Tom.
Hey, Amber. How are you?
Welcome to Something to Celebrate. Thank you for coming on the show with us.
Oh, thank you for having me.
Well, I was just bragging on you. Julie is the editor of Arise Daily. It's our Advanced Writers and Speakers Association daily free e-devotionals, and she works hard on that. And tell me a little bit, and she is an author herself, but got involved in this devotional ministry of the Advanced Writers and Speakers Association. Tell me how that happened besides you just falling into it.
Or being dragged. I never really thought of myself as an editor. I mean, I used to be a fifth grade teacher, so I'm heck with a red pen, but never thought of myself on that side of the table in terms of writing. But what happened was I was thinking about, there's a lot of devotional sites out there, and
Yes.
And they all serve a purpose, and God uses all of them. But I just felt like with the pool of people that we have really amazing authors in
Yes.
Advanced Writers and Speakers Association who have written great books and have wonderful thoughts, and God is using them.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought, why don't we have a devotional site where we all contribute and we all share our experiences, share what God has taught us, and give some good scripture teaching in there. And so I contacted Linda and asked her about it, and after a few months of conversation and Linda checking into things, she said, "Okay, Julie, I think we're going to do this." And I said, "Well, if you do, get someone who really knows what they're talking about in terms of scripture interpretation and all. You want to have it vetted, because people have incorrect ideas sometimes."
Yes.
But anyway, she said, "Well, I want to do the devotional site, but only if you will be the editor."
Wow.
And I thought, what? So I had to
That's how
pray
Linda
about
does
that
it.
one. But
Yeah.
it's turned out to be a really wonderful thing for me personally. God has really used it in my life and has given me some wonderful friendships because of my working with people, and has blessed the ministry for sure. So I definitely, whether I wanted to or not, landed in a good place.
Yes.
God is good.
I find, it's funny because I love Leading Hearts, but Arise Daily kind of hits me. The magazine, we come out every couple of months, but I love it that Arise Daily hits my inbox, and it really kind of hits me in the moment where I am, because a lot of times I'll be asking God a question or praying, and I'll hit Arise Daily, and it's like, oh my gosh, God, you gave me something right in front of my face, right when I needed it. I think that's one of the things I love about this ministry. And you guys have been going. Has it been over a year or longer, Julie?
We started in January. We started posting January 1st in 2018. So it's been about a year and 6 months.
Wow, a year and 6
We've
months.
had over 500 posts. I can tell you that.
500. Can you imagine? So you have over 500 pages of content. Well, technically, over 500 pages, probably more than that,
Yes.
that you guys are getting ready to pull together in a book.
Yes.
So that's exciting.
Very exciting.
And you must be stoked because a lot of it's pre-edited.
Yeah, a lot of it is, but we are requesting new pieces from people. We're going to mix a lot of new in with the old.
Wow.
Which gives us the chance to really be picky about what goes into the book.
That's
and so
great.
it's a Rise Daily to Peace. So all of the
wow.
pieces in it will be about having peace, either peace with God, peace with your family, peace with your circumstances,
Wow.
All the things.
Well, I know that that's an important aspect of this generation. It seems like, when we have circumstances with discouragement or stress or anxiety, walking into peace is a hard thing to do. And that's what, as I said, that's what I think Arise Daily has been for me, is I read it and I know that God is with me in that circumstance. So thank you, Julie, for doing what you do and all the effort you put into, because it's awesome. It looks amazing, and I'm not saying because I was the brand manager of that project. And the website, arisedaily.com. Now, Julie, you do your own stuff besides, which I don't know how you have time to do. You have a book project coming out. Tell us a little bit about that. Actually, your book on Jesus and women, unexpected love. Tell us a little bit about that project.
That book was published back in 2013, and so I'm working on more projects. I've got several things into publishers, so we'll see what happens. But the book on unexpected love came out of my own desire to find out what God really thought about women, because I had been taught, from a young age that, women were kind of, they wouldn't say it like this, but second-class citizens in the kingdom of God.
Yes.
That God, didn't trust them with responsibility. God, didn't call them into something with leadership. And so I grew up under that. And I really wondered always, like, why would God create something lesser in his perfect creation? And so anyway, I in my own quest, I thought, well, if I want to know what God thinks about women, we had God in the flesh here on earth 2,000 years ago. And so I'm going to look at how he interacted with women and go from there. So I started reading those stories and studying them. But the thing is, I didn't get the warm fuzzies I was hoping for. Like, for instance, the wedding at Cana. Mary tells him, Jesus, we've run out of wine. The host has out of wine. And Jesus said, woman, what does that have to do with me? And it's like, what? He talked to his mother like that?
Exactly. Oh.
Syrophoenician
No wonder
woman.
he didn't have any dates.
The Syrophoenician woman talks about begging Jesus. Her daughter's life is on the line. She's begging him, please do something. Get that demon out of her. He's destroying her. And Jesus compares her to a dog under the table looking for crumbs, looking to take the bread from the master's children. Well, that's not very nice.
No.
What's that about? And so I found in each of the stories, he didn't seem all that warm and loving or accepting. And I thought, well, what's happening here? Maybe God is thinking that way toward women. So what I did was I had gone to seminary and gotten my master's in biblical studies. I have the tools to dig deep and find out what's going on. I have the Greek and all of that. So I went through and I really, really studied those passages. And the Jesus that emerged, it was life-changing for me to write, because the Jesus that emerged, oh, my goodness, he loved women so much. He said exactly the thing they needed to say. He approached them where they were and took them forward from there. And it just was life-changing to see how he interacted with them and how precious they were to him. And when I saw that through that study, I could rest in what God thought of me.
Yes.
And so that's what the book is about.
It's so funny. But you do see that in any interaction with Jesus, not just the women and with the guys, like shaking them out of their kind of crazy reality is like, I think just kind of shaking them back into a period of peace and like, okay, do you really believe what I'm going to do is who I am is who I am, and what I'm going to do is what I'm going to do. He caught people in the craze, in the mania of their circumstances, kind of shook them down, and sometimes not in the kindest words, but sometimes it's like, hey, lady, get off. And to when he was on the boat with with the disciples in the Sea of Galilee, when the storms were raging, he was like, hey, what's wrong with you? And spoke peace. But he didn't speak peace before he said, "Hey, what's wrong with you?" He probably shook some people, like kind of like we feel like shaking down some people in the love of Jesus.
I mean, one of the most like iconic scenes of, if you want to call it a holy outburst of Jesus, is the temple where he's just like flipping tables.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's a righteous and a holy. It's not, because anger's kind of like not a fruit of the spirit.
Yeah.
Or, it's a fleshly outburst, but this is a holy and righteous, reaction to something that he sees as great injustice.
Yeah.
And that's an example of like, okay, yeah, that's how he responded. Because Jesus never, he was fully God but fully man, but he totally only did what he saw his father do. So
yeah, that's an exciting kind of parallel to draw, because a lot of times we see God in our view of humanity, but he has. I hate to see even feminine and masculine. It's just.
Yeah.
I think the nurturing qualities of man, of humankind, the love, the kindness, the desire to hold us close like a child, and to really guide us. There's some times where I'm like, what in the world, kid, are you doing? And I say that to my own children. I love them. Sometimes I've, had to regain my salvation in a time of perilous yelling. Julie, but how have you seen, as you people have connected, as ladies have connected with these words, how have you seen that change their lives as far as how God views them?
Well, it's interesting, because I do want to add one thing to what you all were saying about Jesus and how he interacted with people. I used to think that Jesus didn't like the Pharisees or the scribes or the chief priests, and so he would just lash out at them. But now I know through all this is that everything Jesus said was exactly what they at that time needed to hear.
Wow.
And everything he did was because of love. So it dawned on me when I was going through the book of Luke with my Bible study that he talked to them like that because they needed to be shaken, like you said, out of what they thought. And they had a window. They had a window to accept him or not. And he knew if they didn't, they would go to hell.
Yes.
And so he said what they needed to hear in a harsh sounding language, but he did it because he loved them.
Yes.
And that's the thing. I mean, God always, whatever he does in love.
Yes.
And so even, his discipline done in love. And so all those things went into how I viewed Jesus. Now, what was the original question? Oh, how
have you seen
Sorry about that. So I have gotten lots and lots of mail, and of course the reviews on Amazon and other places. And the prevalent thing I've heard is that people's lives were changed, and not by me, but by what the Word of God says. And a lot of them would say things like, "I didn't understand how much God loved me.
Wow.
I didn't understand, before this, it's just made it all real for me," kind of an idea. And letter after letter I've gotten on that, and it's just been really gratifying to know that God uses it in a way that will draw people closer to him, because that's my prayer. I want to point them to him.
Yeah.
And so it really has done its job so far, or God has used it to do his job.
Yes.
And so that's been a thrill for me. But women do worry about this.
It is. Yeah, they do.
It's an issue, and women are leaving the church over this.
They don't realize, and it just baffles me. I have so many people. I've been a Christian all my life. I'm just realizing that God loves me, truly loves me, and I know that you can get caught up in the emotion of, because I know that as a child I always looked as God as wanting to come down if I did anything wrong, and really I realized that all God wants to do is pick you up in the middle and kind of reach you where you are. And if you have to sit down a bit and recover, that's where God is. He's sitting with you and holding his hands out to embrace you. And one of the things I really love is God speaks to us in different ways so we understand.
Right.
He is not speaking to us in the these and thous. He's speaking to us in the here and now, you know? He's speaking
Yes.
to us,
Yeah.
and he knows our personality. He knows how
Yeah.
we receive him. And he's not wanting to scare us or, you know, he's just wanting to embrace us and for us to really know his love. And part of his love is knowing there's an urgency in this world where his return is imminent. There is an urgency to share his love with others and realize that he is the only way. He is the only way. And I thank you, Julie, for doing this. Tom, do you have any last minute questions or thoughts that you would like to add?
Well, Julie, there's probably two things that you're involved in that we want to make sure that our people know how to connect with. First of all is remind us of how to subscribe to Arise Daily devotionals. And then also, how can people connect with you and what other things are going on in your world?
Okay, well, I'll start with me and work my way back to Rise Daily. My website is juliecoleman.org, and it's just it's got all kinds of things. I blog on it, and it has lots of links and free resources and that kind of thing. I do a thing on Biblical Woman, which is going through the scriptures that are on women and showing them what they really say, and just good exegetical work on that. So there's all kinds of articles there to choose from, and there is a contact thing for me, and I would love to hear from people. That would be great. There is also, I should mention, for the book, there are free resources for leaders.
Wow.
There are resources on lesson plans or ideas, you know, that you can move off on after, you know, they've done the story, and a whole curriculum. There's listening sheets. There's supplemental material, maps, and all that kind of stuff. So it's all available at unexpectedlove.org.
Wow.
And so, but you can reach it through my website, juliecoleman.org.
That's awesome.
And so anyway, there's a lot available, and it's easy to get a hold of me. I'm also on Facebook and Twitter and all that. So,
Yes.
and then the Rise Daily, I believe, because I never had to do it, but I believe you when you go to the site, it will give you an option to subscribe.
Yes.
And you can unsubscribe at any time, but if you're interested in just getting it, it's a nice thing to wake up in the morning, see that devotional there, like Amber said. It kind of sets the tone for the day, I think.
And that's arisedaily.com, I think.
arisedaily.com, and when you go there, you can subscribe. And also, when you go to the Facebook page, there is a click button. You can go and subscribe to that. And I love Arise Daily. I would encourage leaders, lady leaders, even guys, go and sign up. This is great material to lead small group discussions or to send out to your group, or, you know, some people may not, you know, but this is great free resources, and it's always great to have that as a leader in your church or in your small group on hand to be a discussion starter. So thank you, Julie, for being with us on the show today. I really appreciate it.
Oh, I'm so glad to be here. Thank you for the opportunity.
All right. Take care and have a great day.
All right. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. So do you have a quick natural solution for us, Tom?
Yes, the new superfood Aronia berries are extremely high in antioxidants and a good source of antioxidant vitamins like vitamin C, A, E, beta-carotene, and folate, and minerals like potassium, iron, and manganese. It helps regulate blood sugar, colon health, improves blood pressure, promotes healthy weight, reduces oxidized LDL cholesterol, and improves muscle tone and recovery from physical activity, from all those things that we're supposed to be doing to stay healthy. And you can find Aronia at www.naturalsolutionstore.bz.
Well, I'm also excited about the next guest. We're having her back, Debbie Cunningham, jazz entertainer, but has an awesome book out. It was released on May 5th. Called Dancing in the Kitchen, about help and hope for staying in love. And we all need help and hope for staying in love.
Hello.
We do. Hey, Debbie, this is Amber.
Hey, how are you?
I am great, and we are so thankful you came back to be on the show with us. Thank you for being on Something to Celebrate today.
Oh, I'm happy to be here. Thanks for having me.
Well, we're excited that your book officially launched a couple months ago, May 7th.
May 7th?
May 7th it launched. And it was an exciting time. You launched it actually with a ballroom party. Tell us about what you did. That was exciting.
Oh, yeah. Well, in my book, Dancing in the Kitchen, the whole book is strategies for building deeper connection in marriage or in any relationship, really. And one of the things I use as analogy is just dancing and how you have to work with a partner to dance.
Yeah.
And so I thought, wouldn't it be a great idea to have a ballroom dance party?
Oh, wow.
So we actually had the book release at a ballroom dance studio here, Champion Ballroom here in Franklin, Tennessee. And all of my guests came. And I spoke, Dan Miller spoke, Joanne Miller spoke. I know might know some of them from their books. And and then we had a ballroom dance lesson for everyone.
Oh, wow. That's
so
awesome.
It was really fun.
Are you a ballroom dancer, Debbie?
I am.
Jazz artist / ballroom dancer. That is awesome.
It's hard work. I've done a lot of ballroom dancing in high school. I took a lot of classes, and it's a lot of
fun.
It's a lot of back and forth with the partner.
Yeah.
So it's a cool place to write from.
Well, my husband has to get worked up to dance. He has to he has, I think he can do some slight 80s head bobbing. But I think that's the heart. And I think that's the challenge of even marriage is getting your spouse to come along and do the dance with you. Per se.
Yeah.
Tell us, Debbie, I know we talked to you about the book before, but I know that some people may not know about it, Dancing in the Kitchen. Tell us about how you were inspired to write this book as a part. I mean, it kind of flew out of your singing career, actually, on the side.
Yes. My singing career, I'm a jazz recording artist, and I have, of course, sing romantic jazz, easy listening jazz. Mm-hmm. I have one jazz standards album out. My second album is called A Million Kisses, and the whole album I wrote to encourage couples. It's positive music about staying in love, really. It's the journey of a committed relationship, the ups and downs, the forgiveness, the celebration of it all. And out of that album, people really responded to that album, and they kept saying, hey, you should write a book because we want you to go deeper into the subject of staying in love. And so I began interviewing couples who had gone through difficult things and stayed together, and how they did that, the strategies they used to continue to build that connection, that deeper emotional intimacy, even through hard seasons, in order to build lasting love.
Yes, and I know it's difficult when I think every marriage has gone through hard seasons, and I think that the awesome thing what you said there is your music promotes that love and the ups and downs of marriage, because it's amazing the dichotomy of music actually. When I'm mad at my spouse, I try not to listen to breakup music because literally I want to go and punch him in the face. I mean, literally. And I think that everything you're listening to, the voices that you hear, set the mood. It sets the tone for your marriage. It sets the mood for your relationships.
Yeah.
It sets your mood. Mm-hmm. So if you're listening to things that make you angry at men or angry at your spouse or things like that, it can just perpetuate that negative.
And I've had
mindset.
it in relationships where I didn't know what I was feeling. It being in your 20s, it's that's the whole the mood of the 20s is I don't know what I'm feeling. Yeah. But just being able to I don't know, even music I've listened to where the artist is I don't really know what's happening. And I'm like, same. And then I'm able to kind of actually figure it out. Like, but even just going before the Lord and saying, okay, what's happening? And God being like, I've been really blessed to have God be like, this is what you need to be doing, and pinpointing it, which is helpful. But a lot of times you don't know what's happening. So,
and I think
it's a process.
Listening to artists like Debbie, and just such a talented. I mean, I say that. I mean, not really. She is an artist, but you can hear Christ in the heart of her music. And I said that's the difference between just Christian music, and in everything that you do, it emanates the love of Christ and his heart for us. Debbie, where do you think you're going at? I know you just did Dancing in the Kitchen. What do you think your next project will be?
Well, right now I'm traveling. First of all, thank you for that comment, by the way. I appreciate you saying that about my music and my heart, because it is my intention to love well through what I do. And what I'm doing now is going into churches or in small group settings and trying to do couples night out events to build this connection with couples. You know, whether you have a struggling marriage or you have a good marriage, we still need to be intentional. I was going to say being intentional about connecting, being intentional about having fun in your relationship is so crucial. Because marriages, I've interviewed people who've been married 30, 40 years, and then there's an affair, and they are blindsided because they don't realize they thought they were okay. And so my point is to encourage couples to continue to be intentional as they process through the years and not stick your heart in cruise control, which is really easy to do when you've been married. I've been married 32 years. It's really easy. It's like that comfortable old shoe. Like we're in this pattern and we think everything's okay. So my encouragement is just, I'm really trying to go across the country and encourage couples to have fun and to stay in love and to cultivate a deeper connection, to cultivate a better communication. So going to churches and doing book signings across the country, you know, that's what I'm doing right now for the next year. So that's my project, if you want to call it that.
Yes. Well, I think I'm inspired by people like you, Debbie, because I know that my husband and I went through a horrible circumstances where it could have all ended. And next month we're celebrating 25 years of marriage, which is exciting.
Awesome.
25 years. It doesn't seem like a lot to some people. My husband's parents just celebrated their 60th, but I think the one thing that his parents taught us and my parents taught us is no matter how hard things get, stick together. Stick together. Don't go your opposite ways, because when you grow apart, then when all the kids are gone that were sticking you together, all of a sudden you don't even know who you're married to. And God has given me the blessing of a husband who is blind. I honestly say that because I believe it, because we've had to travel everywhere together. And I think that's where we need to be. We're traveling everywhere together. And you know what the funny thing is? The things that I loved about my husband when we got married, I mean, he is the most stinking hilarious person I know. I mean, besides the British accent, you know, he's the most stinking hilarious person I know. And I was cracking up in the car this morning. I'm like, you are so stinking hilarious. I love you. And I think that is some of the most amazing things that you can do is remember why you loved someone. Remember those things and see that. Continue to see that in them, and also vocalize that. You know, I think so many times in the middle of the night, and my husband turns over and he just tells me, I love you, you're beautiful, I'm so thankful to have you in my life, and I'm gonna get teared up here. And I was like, of all the cred you've been through, and you have your spouse turn over and tell them how much you mean to them, they mean to you, how much you mean to them, and how much guys need to hear that, wives need to hear that. Be intentional with communicating your love for one another, and demonstrate that in your words and in your actions, and enjoy your spouse. We have to enjoy this life. Enjoy your spouse and remember why you love them. And I'm going to cry. I'm going to sit back here and cry. I just so much appreciate you, Debbie. Tom, before I rake out the waterworks, do you have any final questions?
Yeah, well, I was about ready to jump in here and interrupt before she started, boo-hooing over here. But Debbie, I just want to affirm and celebrate the fact that you are a strong believer, a Christ follower, who is not a former jazz musician.
Yes.
You have managed to leverage your craft in a way that brings glory and honor to the Lord and benefits the kingdom and benefits people. So thank you. Not every carpenter only builds churches.
Yes.
You know what I mean? They
Yeah.
do other things with their craft, and I think that you are a wonderful example of how someone can take a creative heart, a creative mind, and be right smack dab in the middle of the marketplace.
Yes.
So thank you for that.
Thank you so much. Well, we're called to be salt and light, and I just want to love well wherever God takes me in the world.
That's awesome. I think we should all.
It's hard to be
put that
salt and
as
light up in the cupboard.
Yeah, I think we should all put that in front of our faces every day. Love well, love healthy, love good, pour your heart into it, and just embrace the love that God has for you, and just pour that out into your family and everyone you come in contact
And
with.
remind us how we can connect with you, Debbie.
Oh, yes. Well, you can find me at debbiecunningham.net, and you can find everything there about my music, about the book. The book is available, of course, on my website, autographed copies on my website.
Yes.
And then you can get free music there, debbiecunningham.net. You can get free music. And I was going to say also, your listeners, if they go there and join the newsletter, they can get free downloads and also some downloads about marriage. So they can
Ooh.
go there and get some marriage help.
Free music and free marriage, and that's awesome. Marriage help guides.
So debbiecunningham.net is like resource central right there.
Yeah. Do you have like any of the foot diagrams for ballroom dancing out there?
No.
YouTube does though. I'm sure.
That's awesome. I would love to have a dancing in the kitchen guide to ballroom dancing. Guide to sweeping your
I'll make
mate
you a
off their
playlist
feet.
on
Okay.
YouTube.
Guide to sweeping your mate off their feet without falling on your face.
Another project for another time.
Well, thank you so much, Debbie, for being with us today.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
All right. Take care.
Have a great day.
You too. Bye-bye.
She's a cool lady.
She is a cool lady. That smooth jazz. I think if you haven't heard her music, really,
Jazz
it's
is a good time. I like jazz.
I like jazz, and there's not, that it's hard to find, amazing, positive, jazz music that's just really up there.
Yeah.
So it's awesome to see these Christians who are just top notch in their craft. Everybody. And speaking of top notch, we have some amazing artists coming into town.
Yes.
This weekend.
Yes. Light the Way is a free Christian music festival happening right here in Rogersville, Missouri, at the Jamestown Plaza, Jamestown subdivision area, a big giant field. It's going to be a great event. Just to show you, just to fill you in on some of the lineup, we're going to have Courageous Church. We'll be there with a worship team. We're having Austin French, North Point, Inside Out, Jason Crabb, Torrin Wells, Danny Goki, and that's just on Friday.
Wow.
That's
awesome.
just on Friday. Bo James will be bringing a word somewhere there in the evening. And then on Saturday, High Street Baptist Worship is going to be on stage, a group called Break the Fall, Zealand Worship, We Are Messengers,
I love We Are Messengers.
Carrie Job we'll wrap things up. Sarah Forhetz is going to be there as one of the guest speakers. Folks, tickets are free.
Yeah.
Tickets are free. The one thing that they do ask is that you go ahead and sign up for a ticket so that we can anticipate the crowd. At this point, the last that I talked to, John Wilson, who is the event director, we were at over 28,000 people who had signed up for tickets.
There you go.
We're fully expecting between 30, 40, maybe even 50,000 people by the time it's all said and done, because it's been several days since we talked about the numbers. But to do that, you just go to lightthewayministry.com. lightthewayministry.com. There will be a place on there where through iTickets you can go ahead and sign up for your free ticket and download it. Food vendors are going to be there. There's going to be a great kids zone. You know, folks, we're just expecting great and wonderful things happen.
Yes.
We expect some folks to become Christ followers. They're going to have baptismal tanks set up. Baptisms are going to be taking place right there. It is just going to
It's gonna be like church camp.
Can I have like
a lot more
emergency
people.
baptism? Can we just go jump in, like if we
And,
want to be rebaptized?
No, lightthewayministry.com.
Lightthewayministry.
lightthewayministry.com.
So, and I'm assuming that traffic, you're going to want to get there early and set up and bring. Is it bring your own chairs? Bring your own.
Yeah, you can. The website will give you all the stuff that you need to bring. They're asking that you don't bring pop-ups like big tents to sit under, because then that blocks everybody's view.
This is not, Coachella.
Yeah,
Definitely
it's a
not
big flat
Woodstock. So do not bring your own tent.
Yes.
There will be food there, so you don't have to worry about packing
there
a
are
lunch or
lots
anything.
of food vendors and just great supporters and.
I wonder if I can convince Carrie Job to ride her little tricycle across the stage.
Oh my gosh, is that something that she does?
Well, the last time I hung out with her, we were backstage at John Q. Hammond's Arena, and she was with her son, her young son, and I snapped a picture of her riding a trike. Like, I was like, so is this how you usually enter interviews? Because I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So if we can,
She's keeping it real.
we might have to, convince her to ride her trike across the stage as her opening set. So that's awesome. Amazing bands. Break out the sunscreen, probably the bug spray. So it's got
Figures
probably
are
all on the
probably
list.
gonna make an appearance.
Yeah.
So I would assume.
Yeah.
And as I said, it's a free event. There will be a nominal charge for parking.
Yeah.
Because some of the lots that we're having to use belong to other people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
And you can find out everything on the site for what you can bring and what you're not to bring.
Yes.
Isn't it? You have to get a ticket. It's a free event, but you have to get a ticket.
That is what they're asking, is that everybody just go and sign up for a ticket, and that way we can anticipate the crowds.
Kind of like a call order. Or
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah. So that's exciting. Well, do you have a final natural solution you'd like to?
Well, I think we have time for
about?
one more, and we're going to talk about fish oil. A product we've all heard about for heart health is fish oil. Natural Solutions offers an exceptional product known as Super Strength ARSNL Omega-3 Fish Oil. It's guaranteed to contain the highest quality and purity of any fish oil available anywhere. Not all fish oil is created equal. The source, the purity, the density of DHA make major differences in the quality of the fish oil that you ingest into your body. It supports overall health, including brain function, healthy eyesight, reduced pain and inflammation, healthy heart, and boosted mood. Carefully crafted from deep sea cold water fish and molecularly distilled for purity from all toxins. Omega-3 fish oil is designed to have maximum potency without that nasty fish taste. You can get fish oil at www.naturalsolutionstore.bz.
Well, this is exciting. Thank you guys, as usual, for an awesome show. We like to thank our guests, Debbie Cunningham and Julie Coleman, Arise Daily. And I don't know if you guys have plans today, but I plan to soodle through my day.
Yes.
I do.
And Light the Way is this coming Friday and Saturday, so that's just a couple of days away.
Yeah. And I may get some noodles. you know, ramen.
Well, I was just gonna say ramen is the quality noodle for noodling.
Yeah. So until next time, this is Amber
And Tom.
And Gracie.
saying, step into the sunshine and find something to celebrate today. Take care.